This is just a little something extra for my subscribers for the quiz tomorrow. I want to go through the exact problems that are on the quiz. You might take a look at this. These are the first three problems you'll see on the quiz. As you can see, this is exactly the quiz from tomorrow. Concept 3 requiz. That's what we're doing tomorrow. I want you to get a good grade. Here we go. The first problem you're going to take and subtract 13 from both sides first. And when you do that, you'll have the absolute value of x, and that is going to equal a negative 5. It's the same kind of thing we ran into on the first part today, and the fact is that a distance cannot be negative. It's impossible. So we're going to write no solution. For number 1. Pretty easy to remember that. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 is going to have two cases to it. It'll have 4y minus 10 equal to 2, and then it's also going to have 4y minus 10 equal to negative 2. We'll solve each of these cases individually. We'll add 10 to the first side, and 4y is going to equal 12. Divide both sides by 4, and y is going to equal 3. That's one of my two answers. On the other side, I'll solve it just the same. Plus 10, plus 10. This time I'll get 4y equal to 8. When I divide by 4, I get y is equal to 2. So my two answers are y equals 3 and y equals 2. On the third one, that 6 out front has got to go away first. So what I'll do is I'll divide the whole thing by 6. Don't distribute it, divide it. It'll go away. I'll end up with an absolute value expression of x minus 4, and 48 divided by 6, that's 8. So now, just like number 2, I'm going to write my two problems. I'll say x minus 4 equals 8, or x minus 4 equals negative 8. Let's take just a minute to explain that. If I've got this value here, whatever it ends up to be, don't pay any attention to the x or the 4. Just look at it as a distance. This distance is equal to 8. Well, couldn't that distance be equal to, if it's equal to 8, isn't the distance of 8 equal to 8? And isn't the distance of negative 8 also equal to 8? That's why we have those two solutions. I'll solve this by adding 4 to this side, and x is 12. And I'll solve this other one by adding 4 to both sides again. And negative 8p back 4, x is going to be equal to negative 4. So I've got my two answers. My two answers are x is 12, 4. The last two problems on the quiz look like this. Let's blow that up a little bit. On the first problem, I'm going to move the 35. And when I cancel it there, it's also going to cancel over there. So I'm going to have something that says 5y, the absolute value is 0. Well, think about it. What distance can be equal to 0? That distance could be 0 or negative 0, couldn't it? But wait a minute, is there such a thing as a negative 0? Nope, there isn't. So in this case, we've only got the one answer of 0. So I'm going to solve this by writing 5y is equal to 0. When I divide 0 by 5, I get 0, because 0 cut into 5 pieces is still 0. This problem only has one answer, because 0 is neither negative or positive. It's the divider on the number line between negative and positive. Looking at the last one, it's a lot like an earlier problem. I'm going to do my two sets. I'll do 2u plus 4 is 10, and 2u plus 4 is negative 10. I'll subtract 4 from both sides, and I'll have 2u is 6. Therefore, u is, sounds weird, I'm saying u is 6 divided by 2, which is 3. On the other side, I'll subtract 4 from both, and I'll have 2u is negative 14, because if you're in debt 10 and borrow 4 more, that's 14. I'll divide by 2, and u is negative 7. So my two answers are u is, sounds really weird, 3 or negative 7. Should have negative side's big enough. And that's your quiz tomorrow. Hope you do well.